Hey, Tony guys here. Y'all got to forgive me now because just got out the barbershop, so I still got that chalk on my hairline. Got to try to get that off before my little interview I got to do, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that off without losing the hairline. And so, wanted to talk to y'all ladies about this, and I'm going to start trying to, and I have to take these topics from my clients, from real life situations, these real life conversations. And to my clients, you have to know that don't nobody know you, and don't nobody know who gave me this topic or this idea. So y'all have to, so just because y'all know it's you, don't feel like it's somebody just gonna all of a sudden be able to guess your name and address and social security number. And that's how some women be. Yeah, Tony, can you not mention anything we discussed? No, I will be mentioning it all because you're not the only one going through it, and nobody knows you. And I'm not saying your name, but the topic came up today. My client was talking to me, and she say, Tony, you know, why do I need to be grateful for not being beat? And she, you know, kind of put it in her words. And what she was responding to is, you know, her guy that she dealing with, not a husband, not a fiance, is being quiet. He's quiet right now. And she don't know what's going on. And I say, well, you got to be glad that he get silent and he get distant versus him berating you or beating you, because you're gonna have to choose. You're gonna have one or the other. You're not, and this way I want y'all to get beyond that. You know, I want y'all to get beyond, and I want y'all to come into the reality is that you're dealing with a human. You're dealing with a human. Humans are not perfect. When a human is perfect in your face, what they are hiding will kill you. Hear what I just told you. When a human is perfect in your face, what they are hiding will kill you. I want you to understand that. You would rather have somebody who shows you their imperfections and what they need to work on and where they need to be trying to grow than to somebody who is absolutely 1,000,000% perfect. I'm gonna tell you like that right now. You're never going to have a perfect human being other than Jesus Christ. It's not gonna happen. So I want you to understand that. Once you understand that now, once you get that right now, your life is going to change for the better once you realize that. And so what I told my client is, it ain't about being grateful. It's that you have to pick your poison. Meaning you're going to have to choose between a man that will get silent and get distance when something is bothering him, or between a man who is going to be verbally or physically abusive. Now, the growth part of that is, well, Tony, why can't it be a man who expresses what he's thinking and what he's feeling and tells me, guess what? I'm that man, and my wife do not like it. See, listen, you have to be careful what you ask for. So guess what? She would rather me be quiet, be silent, and be distant. She'd rather me be quiet. When I say what's bothering me, what I'm thinking, she don't like those kind of conversations. And I had to think about that because that's how she is. She'll get quiet and she'll get distant. She won't say what she thinking, what she feeling. And some people will label that when we are silent. Some people call it abuse. Some people call it narcissism. And although it could be weaponized as that, there is all two things could be true, as y'all like to say. There is also a time where silence is golden. Silence is the key, because what you're going to say will do far more damage than your silence. See, what silence does is it allows somebody to self-soothe. It forces the other person to self-soothe. It forces them to learn on their own. It forces them to be independent instead of being codependent. See, the reason why we hate silence and the reason why we weaponize it and we call it narcissism, we call it abuse, is because that silence sends us into a place that is very uncomfortable, because we don't know what they thinking, what they feeling, if they finna leave, if they finna cheat, if whatever it may be. And they literally may be being silent because what they have to say will destroy you. But all that silence does is it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. It may make you worry. It may anger you. It may upset you. But guess what you got to do? You got to be emotionally intelligent and you got to self-soothe. You have to confront you and you got to deal with you. And so that right there. And so for me, now I'm the type of person, I call stuff out. Like if my wife, if she acting a certain way or she doing, I say, hey, what's wrong with you? You got an attitude? I say, hey, listen here now. You're gonna have to get that together now. All that right there, no, I ain't with all that now. You're gonna have to get that little attitude in check. So me, I'm very direct. I'm very blunt. But guess what? I'm a man. And so you know what my wife will do? She'll get the attitude in check. She'll get the attitude in check. And then if I got an attitude, what she'll do is she'll just be quiet. Because she knows that I have a way with words. She know I'm a wordsmith. And she know I'm a talker. So she have learned, let me not open Pandora's box. Let me not open this can of worms. I don't want to have no 2-hour, 3-hour conversation. So I'm finna let him just go through whatever he going through and he'll get over it. And she know that I'll self-soothe, that I talk to myself, I coach myself, and then I'll come out on the other end perfectly fine. And we didn't have to get into an argument. We didn't have to get into this conversation where I'm gonna say something that's too blunt, too direct, too hurtful, and something that I can never take back. So she have learned in behavioral science, you got stop, redirect, reinforce. You use stop when somebody is harming you or harming themselves. Then you have ignore, redirect, and reinforce. This is what we both learned working in the group home with mentally disabled adult men. You use ignore when a person is not harming you or harming themselves, but they are exhibiting a maladaptive behavior, which could be also called an attention-seeking behavior. And as adults, we exhibit, full functioning as adults, we exhibit attention-seeking behaviors like a silent treatment. Well, if you give a silent treatment and you are seeking attention, you want the other person to say, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that? Come on, what's the matter? And you want them to go to digging deep, and so that you can berate them, read them, check them, tell them about themselves, because you don't have the guts to speak up and just say how you feeling. So you give a silent treatment with the hopes that they will open that door to see what's wrong with you, so you can lay off into them and then tell them, well, you asked You shouldn't ask if you didn't want to know. You only have to do that a couple times with a smart person. They gonna learn. Don't ask. If I don't want to know, don't ask. If I know I ain't did nothing. Now see, when you know you done did something, that's silence, and we don't want to keep calling it a silent treatment. But that silence allows you to be silent and to you to look and say, what did I do wrong? Oh, you know what? I said this, or I did that. Said this, did that, shouldn't have did this, shouldn't have did that. So now that silence allows you to be introspective, and now you able to go and say, hey, you want anything to eat? Hey, you want to go to the movies? Hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? Hey, can I do this? Hey, can I do that? Like, for you to try to redirect. Or if you know what you did was real wrong, then you'll go back and say, hey, you know, I want to apologize for what I did earlier. You know, that's my fault. I shouldn't have did that, or I shouldn't have said that. And then they able to be like, okay, all right, I appreciate that. I got you. Thank you. Apology accepted. Then boom, y'all can move on. Just like that. But what I want you to realize is, if you're a woman watching this, I've never met a perfect woman. So I want you to know that. And at the same time, I want you to know you're not going to meet a perfect man. And all the time I hear women saying, well, why do I got to settle? Like, why do I got to settle? Why I can't have a man that's all the way fully grown, who fully know how to express himself? Well, why he can't have a woman that don't get in her feelings, that is not sensitive, that is not an overthinker? Why he can't have that? Because nobody is perfect. So what we have to realize and understand is, you got to pick your poison. So I have to realize I'm not going to meet a perfect woman. So I seen the clip of the couple, they on the beach, and they showed the behind the scenes, and the woman is like, she getting an attitude, and she just like hot and bothered, like she PMSing, and the man is trying to be cool, calm, and collective, and then she tell him, why can't you just say okay, babe? And he's like, why am I gonna say okay, babe? Like, you in the right, like you wrong. Like, we on vacation. There's not gonna be an empty beach. Like, you trying to shoot this photo shoot like you own the beach. We didn't rent the beach. Like, it's gonna be people. So I don't want to be side by side with nobody. And he's like, we're starting at the other end, and there may be somebody beside us. The beach is populated right now. And so he giving her game and like letting her know, like, listen, calm down. Like, you acting a fool right now. But he didn't say all that. And he stood his ground. And everybody in the comments, when you could see both of it, everybody in the comments, they took the man's side. They like, listen, sister, your attitude, like, you need to pipe down. She probably did not want to see that. He probably wanted to post that because he knew he was in the right. And if it was his idea to post that and not hers, then that's what I call social abuse, because he know everybody finna jump on her. And it sounded like he said to her, okay, stupid, fix your face. But the stupid could have been something else he said. But I say, if he said stupid, then they got a little toxic back and forth little relationship that's unhealthy. But that's how it be. You're not gonna have perfect. So sometimes my wife, she'll be in a bad mood. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood. We have had to learn how to deal with each other so that we can coexist. And so I say that to say, nothing gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. You gonna go through. You gonna have some situations to where, y'all forgive me, gotta get that out on. Ooh, this thing say it's 90 degrees in here. Wow. That's gonna take a while. I'm gonna have to sit in my car I turn that on. I'm gonna sit in my car because and so that's what you got to understand is it's gonna be a situation where you're going to, I probably may have to go home and record because it might be too hot in here. It's gonna be a situation. Yeah, let me go home and do that. Let me cut that back off because I'm finna go home, man. I ain't finna. The office, the AC ain't strong enough up here. I'm gonna be up here sweating. Record at the home office. Y'all, this is my wife's office. My wife's office, so when you come into town, this is where we'll meet at right there. Have our in-person coaching session. In-person coaching sessions are double the price. Just got to make sure you're serious and you're really trying to work and not no Jezebel spirit. Jezebels come in male and female bodies. So I'm not just saying that for women. But yeah, they be double the price. And so I say that to say a lot of people are delusional and they waiting on somebody that's perfect. They waiting on somebody who got it all figured out. Like, listen, I've been married 18 years. I still have my quirks about me. My wife still have her quirks about her. It's some days I'm having a bad day, some days she having a bad day. That just is what it is. And we have to learn how to navigate that. We have to learn how to deal with each other. Got to learn how to work with each other, work around each other. Got to learn how to make that happen. It just is what it is. And so want you to realize and understand that that's how that goes, and you're going to have to choose. So if you get somebody who they're not that expressive, they're not a good communicator, appreciate that, because the alternative is not a good communicator. It's somebody who's going to be abusive with their words. So it's better to have somebody who's going to say nothing or say less than have somebody who's going to say too much and they're going to end up hurting you, because you're not really going to find that. And now, and even if it's not abusive, it's still going to be hurtful because the truth hurts. So I have found that with myself in my communication style, just like this right here, video is uncomfortable for you because I'm telling you, you're not going to meet somebody that's perfect. You're not going to meet somebody that know how to communicate and articulate perfectly, and that you're going to have to pick your poison, and you're going to have to choose. You're going to have to choose something. So you're going to choose somebody who doesn't communicate, and you got to guess and figure it out what's going on, or you're going to choose somebody who does communicate and the truth hurt, or you're going to choose somebody who is intentionally verbally abusive, and that is going to hurt. Or you're going to choose somebody who is verbally and or physically abusive. So you have to pick your poison. And then you have to look and you have to say, okay, well, what am I waiting on? So you may say, well, man, I want somebody who can express themselves in love and be telling their truth, and I have to learn how to deal and hear their truth. But they're not trying to hurt me. They being honest, and I'm grown. I can handle the truth. But if that's their only flaw, and everything else they do is right and good and perfect, then you don't want to get somebody. You don't want to get somebody who. You don't want somebody after that point that who they taking. You give up this person going in search of somebody who communicates perfectly, and then now this person who communicates perfectly, they a cheater. They not a gift giver. They not romantic. They could communicate. They tell you how they feel, but they're gonna be lacking something else. So you have to pick your poison. You're gonna have to pick what really matters. I'm gonna tell you something. For me personally, the thing that matters the most is honesty and trustworthiness, loyalty. And that's what matters the most. Like, I wouldn't care, and so you got to know what matters to you. I wouldn't care, like my wife, I don't care if she doesn't cook, if she doesn't clean. I don't even care if she don't want to have sex every day, if she don't want to have sex every week. I don't care about that. Can I trust you? If I can't trust you, we ain't got nothing. If I cannot trust you, if you cannot be honest, we ain't got nothing. And so other than cheating, because I didn't marry a promiscuous woman, a woman who finna go lay up under a man, have sex with a man. I know that's not gonna be my wife thing. The only other thing that I would have to divorce my wife for is lying. And that might not be all the way seen as unfaithful. That's not gonna be seen as unfaithfulness in the Bible. But that's the only other thing that I would consider, not to say that I actually would. I have actually taken and had to look and say, okay, well, my wife ain't tell me the whole truth on that. But what she omitted wasn't detrimental. But why didn't she tell me the whole truth? What I realized early on is, Tony, you didn't create a safe space for the truth. You showed that you can't handle the truth. You showed that you not in a space to handle the truth. Like you don't react well. So that's what you showed. So with that right there, it's like, oh, okay. So I gotta be able to create a safe space, not be so intimidating. And that what my son told me the other day when he told me about his thirst trap TikTok. He said, Dad, you might not realize it, but you could be a bit intimidating. Like you could be a bit like it's like you just never know how you're gonna react to something. And I said, oh, okay, all right. I said, I get it. Me personally, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'd rather you fear me than to try me. I'm all right with that. I'm all right. Don't feel like you can just say any and do anything with me now. Absolutely not. I don't want to have to make you regret that. And so I said, all right, yeah, I get that, son. All right, well, listen, something like that right there, I'm fine with that. I'm like, now, if you would have told me you was out here sitting dangling pictures or you was out here on OnlyFans, I said, that's different now, son. But you taking pictures, licking your lips, like, son, I ain't worried about that. Like, I ain't worried about that. Like, I'm just glad you like women. I say, now, what I really be worried about is if you like the men. I'm just glad you like women, son. Like, I ain't worried about that. You could thirst trap all the women you want to. Just save yourself until marriage and meet you a good wife. But it got that Porsche. Put it back in that Porsche. So yeah, this is what I want you to understand. And get that in your spirit. And just really come to that place of realization to where you realize that you're not gonna have it all. You're not gonna have it all. You ain't gonna be able to meet somebody with everything. It just ain't gonna, it's not going to work. And just even me talking about this, I'm like, you know what? I'm going into a season of peace. To where all I'm finna do in my own relationship, only thing I'm gonna be doing is checking disrespect. And I know that's not gonna happen. Like, I know that'll be very rare. And it won't be, when I checking, it'll be like, hey, everything good? What's going on? You feel like you got a little, like, getting a little snappy there. Everything good with you? All right, now, hey, you better remember who you talking to now. So that's all I'm gonna be doing. Other than that, I'm not finna be having kingdom conversations and all these deep conversations. So do you think about other men? So do you think about your ex? So would you ever cheat on me? Like, I ain't finna be just starting deep nonsense conversations just to be digging into stuff. And that's what we'll do as humans. We'll just start something. Everything going good, everything is perfect, and we just start something. I bet you cheat. Is you cheat? Who you talking to? Who you thinking about? Do you got a work wife? Do you got a work husband? We'll just start something just to start something. Be like, man, where this come from, man? Just out the blue. And so we just got to get to that place where we healing and we doing what we supposed to do. And once you get to that place right there, you understand that, boom, you move on with your life. But hey, don't get it twisted now. And don't think and feel that what I'm saying means you have to be abused or you have to be whatever. What I'm saying is you're gonna have to choose the lesser of the evils, because you're going to have to put up with something from somebody that will not be comfortable. It will not be comfortable. It would not be comfortable. And you're going to have to take and choose to say, okay, is this the end? Like, is this detrimental? Is what I'm dealing with, is what I'm experiencing, is this a deal breaker? And if the answer is yes, then you got to make moves. So if I look and I say, okay, but why keep lying to me? Is that a deal breaker? Absolutely. But why I'm being beat on? Is that a deal breaker? Absolutely. I'm being verbally berated, made to feel like trash, tore up from the floor up. Is that a deal breaker? Absolutely. I'm being lied to, being cheated on. Did I already say that? Is that a deal breaker? Absolutely. I'm being stole from. Is that a deal breaker? Absolutely. So anything that is a deal breaker, you got to make moves. When you look at something and you say, okay, my person doesn't express their feelings very often. Is that a deal breaker? No. My person don't put the toilet seat up or put the toilet seat down. Is that a deal breaker? No. My person don't like to argue and have long, deep, back and forth debating, arguing conversations. Is that a deal breaker? No. My person don't like to cook. Is that a deal breaker? No. My person don't like to clean. Is that different? No. My person not good with money. Is that a deal breaker? No. My person got bad credit. No. My person is not the right height. Is that a deal? No. My person not the right weight. No. You have to know what deal breakers are. Deal breakers are connected to your morals and your values. When somebody's morals and values are off, now you got an issue. So, hey, it's Tony, guys. I'll give it still a little time. Hey, get your life right. Get that in your spirit. All the important links in the description. Remember, this week only, $9.97 a month is the all access membership on Tony Gaskin Academy. We got over 100 courses. They'll continue to be added every new course. What you will get is when we do live classes on Saturdays, you won't have access to those. You'll have access to the recording if you are in the membership. That price, $9.97, that's only this week. After that, next week it'll go up probably around 30 to 50%, and it'll gradually continue to go up over time. It'll probably sit there for a little while. So this is the founding member price, $9.97 a month, access to all of my courses on TonyGaskinAcademy.com. This is a recession-proof membership because you're gonna have access to all of that. So visit TonyGaskinAcademy.com, join the membership, claim your spot. God bless you, and we'll talk soon.